Two of the highest grossing Bollywood films in the UK are Shahrukh and Kajol films. What do you think, Shahrukh, it is about your partnership together on screen that appeals to audiences in the UK?
I think there are two parts to it. One, I think just being part of films which have been directed, scripted, written and have...
Based.
Not only based and have an international and perhaps a lot of the diaspora appeal in England and in America. I think that's how they just got to become very famous. And somewhere, I think she chooses her films with a lot of care, what she wants to do. And if I happen to be in them, it's like, it seems like she knows how to choose a good script. So normally, next time she chooses a film and I'm offered the same one, I'll just jump to it and say, okay, I'm doing this one.
And Kajol, do you think that Dilwale will be able to join that league of the highest grossing Bollywood films in the UK? And if so, what about Dilwale will appeal to audiences over here?
Well, I think Dilwale is a whole package. I did see quite a bit of the film actually while I was dubbing it, and I think I'm the only one who's finished right now. Even I was surprised at how good the whole thing has eventually turned out and fitted in, and Rohit has done a marvelous job of packaging everything together. So yes, there is story, there is drama, there is intrigue, there are flying cars as usual in every bit and corner of it, and there is this lovely funny comedy with these wonderfully funny people in it. So I think it's a really cool film, and it's done very well. It's shot really nicely. We have great production values. So I think as an audience, internationally as well as nationally, I think it'll appeal to people all over, honestly.
And Shahrukh, if we look at your partnership on screen together, this is your 7th film together now. Obviously, there are expectations that the audience hold now. Is there a risk of diluting the legacy that the two of you have?
When we do films, we've never tried to up our game to try and change it from the last one. We just do them because we like them. We like each other. We like our company. We like the fact that we have been part of 6 of the most successful films ever made in the country, and differently so, whether it's a Bazigar, Karan Arjun.
And honestly, we just like working with each other. I think he's such a fantastic actor that to work with him on a scene or to, it's like, I can't explain it any other way. It's just yummy.
I think that's a great description.
I'm a samosa.
And the second film you did together, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, is still running in a cinema in Mumbai 20 years on. I mean, let's just talk about that film for a second. Yeah. Whilst making a film like that, could you ever have imagined the longevity of it, Kajol?
I don't think that we could have managed. No, I don't think we could have imagined the longevity, and I don't think we can. Nobody can.
I mean,
Nobody can. Nobody could have believed. Yes, we believed that we were making a good film up to a point, but like I keep saying, I mean, if you see the making of the film, we were like, nobody expected any of it to get out over there and be seen by the general public. We were like,
you can never work for posterity and feel like, okay, we're going to make the greatest film. Actually, that's the first wrong step in filmmaking. When you start making a great film, I think you should just make the film that you want to make, and the greatness of the art only follows when the audience appreciates it. I'm not saying just the commercial part of it. When people like it, it's got nothing to do with who made it finally. So Dilwale was never thought of like that, and nobody else has done it either, including us. It's like catch-22.
Honestly, it's a great film because everybody has watched it and made it a tradition in their families. It's not because of the fact that, it did well in the first 2 weeks of its release or something like that. It's done well. It's become what it has become because of the people who have been watching it and have, kind of made it theirs. I don't even think it belongs to us anymore. It belongs to them more than us.
And because Kajol called me yummy, I will do all comparisons like food. It's dal chawal.
Okay.
You have to have it once in a week or twice in a week. Dilwale is like
that. So the new one, Dilwale, you've gone to locations that have never been explored in Indian cinema before, and Gerua, which is one of the songs in the film, is the most expensive video ever to be shot for a Bollywood song. What made you want to look further and reach out for locations that were untapped?
Just what you said. We have done some really amazing songs together, romantic songs together.
Shot in the most beautiful places in the world.
All over the world. Yeah. And when you again have, you're back to that kind of a space. And in this film, obviously, we're playing two time zones. So this is supposed to be the younger portion. One thought we can't to recreate it, we can't revisit it. So we thought we'll just try a new place. That will be different. We'll try a new system of even the sound of the song. though still retaining 15-year-old kind of a feel to it. So I think Preetham helped with that. Rohit helped with the bigness. Farah, of course, brought in the classical mold that we have been used to. And Iceland was very important because it really is untouched, not only by Indian films. I mean, you'll see it in Game of Thrones, you'll see it in Interstellar, you'll see it in Noah.
But it is amazing.
But, you see it in a song like this, or Justin Bieber's new song. But when you see it on the song like this, it kind of it's kind of made for that a fantastical, out of the world romantic song.
Yeah.
In fact, you've gone on record to say that you became a producer so you could invest more money into films and shoot in locations like this. Why is it important to bring India up to speed in terms of budget with the rest of the world and global cinema?
See, my concern is not just the locations. Of course, that is dictated by the story and the film that you have. We could make a film in a little village in India and make it very cheap. But the technology part of it is what I want to invest in. Whether it's the VFX, whether it's the sound, whether it's the picture quality, and then finally up the game in the theatres. Because, you know, we make the greatest of films, I think. We all believe that when you're making a film. You know, I was watching a film, Ahsoka, I remember, in England. And there were a lot of Indians, of course, and Pakistanis and everybody. And there were, you know, some English people. And when the film came on, the first nicest thing I heard is, oh wow, it looks like an international film. To me, that was a moment of pride. The sound was good and we had worked on it. I didn't know the speciality of all this. And I think as a producer, as Indians, the one thing that we can control is technology. So it should be of international level. Otherwise, we'll really fall back. You know, Western films will take over every other film like they have done all over the places.
Kajol, it's all well and good when you're investing money into films and trying to bring them up to speed technically as well. But in terms of recognition from the West, the last Hindi film to be nominated for an Academy Award was Lagan in 2001. Why do you think Hindi cinema isn't getting that recognition from the West at the moment?
I think Dilwale has promoted their film. Well, Dilwale is promoting, it's one of the few films that has actually come out, is willing to go that extra mile to promote the film as well. And I think that's one of the main problems that most of our films face in India, that we don't take it to the West. We just don't take it to the West, and we don't push it in the way that it should be pushed. And the films that probably would appeal to an international audience don't have the budget to do it. So we do have some films which still try and push it and take it out and promote it, etc. But they're still not on par with maybe the big budget films. Yeah.
See, Lagan was a combination of art and a commercial film together, and so they could promote it also. They could take it worldwide also, and it was a wonderfully made film and had amazing content which could appeal to an international audience. So the dichotomy is, if you make that content, you don't have the budgets to take it. If you make Dilwale, you have the budgets, but obviously that's not the content to make it to international awards at least. And I think there's a bit of an issue. Like, you know, whenever, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about myself that way, but the world's biggest star, America doesn't know. You know, so the films are like that. That's what they describe me as when I give interviews there. And that's how the best movies that America hasn't seen yet. And the world is, I think UK is seeing them. And it'll, you know, whether it's BAFTA, I think there's a huge recognition for Indian films in UK, but that happens because we had a larger diaspora here. But slowly, I think it'll spread. And we'll have to change the format of our films. We'll have to, I always say this, if I'm invited to your party, I need to dress up in the code that you tell me to. I cannot be wearing my code of 2.5 hours with 5 songs. We'll have to change that.
Finally then, right now the UK, the US and the UAE are primary targets for Bollywood outside of India. But just tell me a little bit about the plans to extend that and where you see Bollywood reaching over the next few years.
I think I tried, I'm not saying me, but we had tried with some of the films in Germany. We made a little inroad there, France, Morocco, Austria. And I think this time we're trying a few places in South America. I think it's important for leaders in the film industry, so to say, to try and open up those markets by at least introducing our films there. Don't worry about the kind of take back you get. It won't be, of course, UK, US or UAE, but I think it will just start introducing people to the flavor of Indian cinema. So I try from my company every time to at least exploit a couple new markets and see where it goes, and then continue with them. Hopefully this time we'll try and do China also, which has already been exploited, but I think that's the place that we can go. Cover up some monies there so we can open small territories in South America and some left in Southeast Asia. So I think that's the plan. I think we've covered 56 nations already, or 54. I'm not clear about the numbers, but which is one of the largest that has been tried. and maybe the next film 100, 196,
God
and then
willing.
tomorrow the
Yes.
world.